one of the rifts of all time. Definitely one of the rifts of all time. Actually, wait. Usually when people say that, isn't it like a joke? Doesn't it mean like it's not that good? But it is good. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that's ever played Escape from Tarkov that the second you hear that riff, you're not going to be, you know, quivering. You're not going to be like wondering what's going on in your hideout. You're not going to be wondering like, is your scav timer up? You know what I mean? God damn, that is just iconic now. Good morning, Tarkov. What's up? Yes, I did get picked up. It wasn't 3 a.m. It was 2 a.m. It was 2 a.m. We can do a bit of a story time, but let me get the intro out of the way here first, guys. As always, please let me know if the music's too loud, if my mic is too loud, if my mic is too low, all that stuff. But good morning, Tarkov. This is the, I guess right now we're still in the test phase. We're going to be testing this for a few days until I leave for Vegas on Wednesday. So we're going to do 2 more of these, actually, be exact. 2 more of these, and we'll see how the channel likes it when I've got some other videos to post. So the other video, I gotta find the time to post it tomorrow. If not, maybe I post it Tuesday at the latest, of course, because I'm leaving on Wednesday. And then we got TwitchCon shenanigans. We got TwitchCon with BSG and Arena shenanigans going for the rest of the week, and should be cool. Should be cool. All right, we'll get a bit of story time out of the way in case people want to know what's going on with that. Long story short, Bike did not appreciate my stop at McDonald's last night. I went and played pool. We actually had this discussion yesterday, I think, where it's good to just kind of like have a way to touch grass, have something that you can do that just kind of like gets you away from the computer sometimes, and kind of brings you back to the real world, whatever it might be. Mine is motorcycle and pool. I just go alone and just take the motorcycle out, ride around, find a windy road on the way over, and just play pool for a couple hours. And then I was going to come home and play Star Citizen, but then I stopped at McDonald's, and then I was trying to be nice. I was trying to keep the engine off because it's a loud bike. And I got a Krapovich full titanium exhaust on an FZ07, if anybody knows bikes, if everybody knows what that is. So it's loud. It's chonky. So I didn't want to sit there in the McDonald's line. I had it turned off. I don't know why it died on me. And I even turned it on to go up to the window. I grabbed I grabbed the bag, and then went to turn it on to move away to like go to a parking spot so that I could put the McDonald's bag in my backpack, and it wouldn't start. And then yeah. And then a absolute epic legend, part of the community, Braxton, been playing Tarkov for 2 years. We got to chat about Tarkov a whole lot while we were trying to bump start the bike. It wouldn't go, and then we eventually had to put it in his truck. We found a ledge to put it in his truck and all that stuff. So Braxton is now a utter legend. I think I'm giving him his own role in the Discord for getting off work at HEB, having my tweets on notification. I just happened to send it out that, hey, if anybody's in San Antonio that has a truck that I can put a bike in, he's like, yeah, I'll be there in 15 minutes. But absolute legend, because I was going to need to leave the bike there, walk several miles. I didn't end up looking at the distance, but it would have been several miles at 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning. Probably would have been more like 3 by the time I had gotten home. A bunch of homeless people around. I don't know what kind of situation I would have got into, if any of them would have fucked with me on my walking back. I don't know the area. My phone was dying, but I had a battery pack on me, so as long as I had paid attention to that, it wouldn't have died. But it was a shit situation. Could have been worse. I'm sure. Obviously, it could have been worse. I don't want to, play that up more, but very real situation where my bike could have got stolen if and something, somebody might have tried to fuck with me while I was walking home in an area I don't fucking know. Multiple areas I don't fucking know. But yeah. And I was carrying, so I wasn't too worried. Obviously I don't want to be put in that situation. I very much don't want to be put in that situation where I have to use it. So that's obviously. But yeah, that's the sitch. That's the sitch. Let's go on to Tarkov. Let's move on. Let's get this going here. But in case, I'm assuming since there's somebody pretty much immediately asked about it, you guys wanted to know what was going on with that. So there's a little bit of story time. We're going to have a little bit of story time sometimes with some of these. And let's head over here. There we go. Why you streaming as I'm heading out? Jack, you know exactly when I go live. You know the deal with Good Morning Tarkov. Actually, you know what? Maybe let's have a discussion about that. Should this be an hour earlier or an hour later? What do you guys think about the time? Do you think the time works for this stuff? Yeah, all safe. It could have been worse. Very lucky with the situation. Oh, and I forgot to say, I did have AAA, but I have the wrong coverage. It's just I have the AAA plus, but it's just for cars and trucks. It's not for motorcycles or RVs. So I call AAA and they're like, yeah, this isn't for motorcycles and RVs. You need the motorcycle and RV. So would you like us to connect you to a motorcycle and RV tow service? And I said, yes, please. And then they connected me to an RV only tow service. And then I called back and I said the same thing. I'm like, hey, you guys just connected me to an RV only. So make sure you send me to a different place. They sent me to a different place, but it was also an RV only tow place. So yeah, and then every other place was like either cars only, trucks only. We don't have anything like that ready for tonight, or it's closed. So very, very just shit situation. Can't see chat. Oh, my bad. There we go. Thanks for saying that. And as always, guys, open to complain. Any complaints? Mic's too loud, mic's too low, music's too loud, all that shit. I'd say it's fine as is. Timing seems good. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit of story time. Sometimes there's gonna be a bit of story time with shit that's going on. Team kill gunplay. Here's the thing. A couple of these people immediately assume is team kill. And a couple of them I actually found out after watching this pretty much on repeat because I've been using it as B-roll. I found out is not. However, this one is. So this person did not get shot. Maybe get shot by a blue guy. Maybe see how this guy's tracking him. See how this guy's tracking him. And then right as the timing works out, he's getting shot. He had just got shot, but it could have been this blue guy that was in front of him or the guy behind him. But just as the timing works out, this guy is clearly engaging our point of view guy right now. He comes into view of this guy and he's getting shot, so we all know how aim punch works. So there is a very good chance that this guy in front of us here took a torso shot. There's a very good chance this guy took a torso shot, but there is absolutely no denying it that a couple of this, you know, these blackout rounds, he straight up strafed his buddy. He straight up strafed his buddy. However, this is one of those things that people are going to need to pay attention to. That did not take any fault away from this guy in front of him from moving along the right side, hearing that they're engaging, and then him deciding to walk in front of him. So that's something we're going to need to pay attention to when we play. Pray, what's up, man? So that's something you're going to need to pay attention to, because this guy, the guy that died, saw that this guy was walking up to this. He saw that he was engaged now, shots fired, and he decided to walk in front of him. So you got to pay attention to that. We got to keep, you know, got to keep your head on your shoulders there with a lot of these tight corners and stuff. People are going to be learning a lot really quickly. 5 days till TwitchCon. Prey's going to be at TwitchCon. We've already been talking a little bit in Discord. We got TwitchCon starting up on Friday, so is it 5 days exactly? Technically, it's like four-ish days. 4-ish days until I start hanging out with other creators in BSG and people at BSG. You guys will see it up on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter for all the TwitchCon shenanigans and, of course, the Discord. I'll post a bunch of stuff up in Discord, too. And if you are going to TwitchCon, we actually just made a role for TwitchCon attendees. So if you go to the hashtag roles channel in the Discord and select the second to last role down there, there's also the live stream role in there as well. If you only want to, if you're looking to get notified when we catch or when I go live, I needed more coffee more quickly, but didn't get much sleep last night. If you're going to TwitchCon, make sure you grab the TwitchCon attendee role. But that's all I'm saying. I remember that in Hired Ops when you did that, your points were taken away and you had less of the currency stuff in the shop during the match. That's a very good point. I don't know if they're doing that. I wonder if there's some kind of penalty for team killing. You know, actually, we might be able to see for ourselves here If this was the round that he did that, that's a good point. This seems like the round. And he won. Oh, you know what? I guess this, at least in this version, it doesn't show you the points. So there's nothing to indicate that he got punished for that. At least yet. And this isn't the game that they show the end points. This is the game that they skip over that, I believe. You can see the amount of kills, but they don't tell the points. Is this the BSG one? This is the IG one. IGN one shows the points at the end, right? Yeah, it is. But we don't. But this is a different game, I think, isn't it? Oh no, it is the same game. Come on. He did get the same amount of... No. Because he was Skiff. This was Skiff. Oh, maybe. Maybe with the XP. Maybe you have a hit to your XP here. Because look how this guy's got the same amount of kills. He's got the same amount of kills and actually one extra assist. But that one extra assist isn't going to get you 300 points. Or XP. Maybe. Maybe there is something there for team killing. I could see it. I could see it happening. Yeah, whenever you team kill. Yeah. That might be a thing. What does it tell you on a Saturday night? The highest viewed streamer is Stankrat. That he's an entertaining streamer. Were you going to go somewhere with that? If you want to talk about something specific, make sure you let me know. Be more specific. You don't got to be cryptic, dude. I wonder if there are... Yeah, we already got that. Pray, yeah, no problem. Also, I see your DM. I'll grab that after the stream. Is there any footage from the public test? There isn't a public test. You mean the Tokyo game show? Or the Gamescom? What do you mean public test? Because there hasn't been a public test. You would have had to be at Tokyo Game Show, or you would have had to be at Gamescom in order to play so far. Wasn't Skiff the one getting killed? He shouldn't get a deduction on EXP then? No. No, I think Skiff was the one that... I think Skiff was our point of view. Oh. No, he wasn't. Skiff did die. Or Voodoo. Or, yeah. That was Voodoo. Actually, it'll show it, won't it? This is some of that footage. Yeah, this guy's Voodoo, and he actually killed both of those guys in front of him. Voodoo kills both of those guys in front of him and his teammate, so it actually registers as that. And then Voodoo... hey, similar case here. Voodoo, same kills, one more death, one less assist. So one assist is not going to be 500 XP. So maybe we missed a couple of team kills on this Skiff guy as well. Maybe. Because it just doesn't match up. What's going on here, you know? Unless maybe maybe there's like you get a whole bunch of extra XP or extra points for getting the final kill of the game, something like that. I think this XP unironically tanked from that. His XP, well, yeah, that wouldn't be unironic. It'd be very intentional. If he team killed, if that's what happens when you team kill. So don't team kill in arena. That looks pretty clear to me. That definitely looks like you get some kind of punishment for team killing. XP for damage done? I feel like it would be more sporadic. Would it not? If it was based off damage done, this is all very even 50s or 100s. If it counted based on damage done. And this guy got the same amount of kills, but he's less than 1,000. And sure, they weren't winning, but it seems off. Seems off to me. Don't walk in front of your battle buddy when he's doing work. Yeah, just, you know, stuff to pay attention to. You really got to pay attention to the people around you. A lot of people play Tarkov alone, so they're not used to it. So it'd be a good eye-opener for a lot of people, I imagine. How's Arena so far? Can't see this style. Doing good? Blind shot, explain. What do you mean by the style? And why do you think it won't do well? What was the thing we were going to talk about before? Didn't somebody bring up something? Yeah, Dominite. Dude, we're here to, whatever you guys want to talk about, we're here to talk about it. If you got some kind of thing, because it sounded like you were going somewhere with that. And the only stuff that we don't want to do is we don't want to have a significant discussion that's a repeat of something that we've already did. So we did cheaters. We did, actually, did we have a big discussion yesterday? I forget what our massive discussion was yesterday. Maybe it was about their views on launch or like around launch. I forget. But yeah, so we're just trying not to double up on the same conversations. If you want to get that conversation, you want to get my take on it, go check out the VOD. These things stick to an hour. We keep them to an hour, so it's a bit easier to digest whenever you're on your way to or from work or whatever throughout the day. I want a gun game in Arena so bad. They are going to add a lot. They're going to add a lot of what's the word? Game modes. Also on that note too, Blind Shot, we've only seen tests from Gamescom and Arena. Glorious E got to play a lot at Gamescom, and he had a lot to say. He had a lot of good things to say about it. He had some bad things to say about it, but hey, they're still in the feedback stage. So I'll see for myself this week, and then also if anybody's going to TwitchCon, you can check that out for yourself as well. Anybody can come up and play Arena at TwitchCon. You just got to stand in line. Will Arena be only one game mode? One live search and destroy? Nope, there's going to be lots of game modes. We've already seen 3 with team fight. There's a couple different things. We can probably pull it up here. Let's see here. Arena. I wonder if it'll just pop up on the right there. Let me search for it, guys. I'll be right back. Keep this up going over here. Take this starting soon because we are started. Battlestate games. Oh, nope, that's not YouTube. There's several maps and there's several game modes. Where are we? Arena teaser. This where they actually show us though? You know what? I can go to the website. Website will do the job. Yeah, website will do it. Coming on back. All right, we'll put the chat down for a second. I'm sure some of you guys are answering me. You right. A sec. We got the Escape from Tarkov Arena website, and of course I've got several videos that are jumping into each one of these like segments of the website and talking about like the game in general. So check those out. Just search Arena on the main page of my channel, and you'll see a whole bunch of videos on that. So when it comes to game modes, we got shootout, round robin tournament. Each team plays against each other in solo, duo, or trio modes. 2 teams with the most victory points meet in the final to determine the winner of the tournament. I believe that these guys were playing team fight. I think it even says that at the end. It does. So these guys are playing team fight in particular. So 2 teams of 5 players fight for victory in 7 rounds. Capturing objective points on the map after the timer expires will also lead to victory on the ground or in the round. And we got Overrun, which I think this is the AI PvE missions. Yep. Last Hero. Sort of like PUBG vibes, or what's that word? BR, Battle Royale vibes on that one. And then Duel, I would imagine, is like 1v1 stuff. Like it's like Gunfight or whatever it is in Call of Duty, where it's like the 1v1s and 2v2 stuff. So yeah. This is just Escape from Tarkov Arena, their main website, and then also you can check out the maps: Bay 5, Air Pit, Equator. The Bowl, I'm pretty sure, is a stadium. I think it's like a soccer stadium or football stadium, whatever you want to call it around the world there. The Box, we don't have much information on. It could be a bunch of different things. And then Resort, I'm going to assume is somewhere on Shoreline because, you know, Resort. So got a couple different videos talking about this stuff. If you guys want to go check that out. If you have something specific you want to talk about, then we can get to that. But yeah, those are the game modes. Excited for the PvE round-based arena mode. It is going to be interesting. What's interesting to me is I want to know what's going to happen with the rewards for that, because I have a feeling people will do very well with that and like basically farm it. So I wonder what kind of rewards we're going to get for doing something like that. Hired Ops had a lot of game modes in general. Also, fun fact, the end of the round victory banner in the arena is the same banner as the one used for team elimination game mode in Hired Ops. There's going to be a lot of crossover. You'll see a lot of that stuff because it is the same. It is the same universe. They are supposed to be the same thing. So Contract Wars was supposed to be like this same kind of vibe, and obviously the same universe. I think it's supposed to be like an adaptation of it, or because the society completely broke down in the world, or in this part or this time frame of the universe that is Escape from Tarkov. It's just became a bit more wild, but it's the same universe. It's supposed to be the same. Has anyone asked the question about if there will be a change in the Unity engine? Yeah, they're working on it for patch 14. The netcode updates and Unity 2021. Unity 2021 itself is actually on the roadmap for December. It's the blue part. So when you look at the roadmap, there's like a brown, I think it was like a brown color that was the August wipe. And then the blue was for the December wipe. A little bit of confusion around that stuff. I ended up getting it clarified quickly after they posted that roadmap. Everything in blue on there is, even if it like ends before December, it just means that they're hoping, or they were planning to have that feature complete at that point, but it didn't mean that they were going to release it yet. It was still pitched for, or it was still supposed to be for the December patch. And then the stuff at the very bottom was stuff that they're just constantly working on, and they could add at any time as long as they had it working correctly. Unity 2021 was one of those things, but we haven't seen it yet. So we're going to assume it's for the December wipe, or December patch, whichever one you want to call it. Oh, Hellsoul, do you mean that, a change like they're going to change off Unity? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Zero chance. They are not switching engines at this point. It's not possible. It's just not. Because they're going to need to fund another, I mean, to port that over and to get it working, it's probably going to be 2 years, 3 years worth of work. Right? And then once they get there, they want something for their time. So there's going to have to be something that, you know, makes it worthwhile. So they're probably going to end up developing more features, or they're probably going to try to develop more features. To find out, or to understand, like, what can really go wrong with that stuff, you have to look at a game like Dead Matter. Dead Matter, I mean, it's just years and years and years. They thought they were doing the right thing, and then it's just took too long, too many problems. Didn't end up releasing in a good way. It's just a lot of bad things can go wrong. It's a lot of things can go wrong, basically. A lot of bad things can happen. I need more coffee. While you're here, I want to show you something funny. Go to the pre-order page on the website and hover the mouse over Rizzy's gear preset in the text. Also, chat doesn't show up. What do you mean chat doesn't show up? Chat's up. Can you guys see chat right now? You should be able to. Is this from too long ago? Yeah, okay, good. Official website, hover over Rizzy. Like this? Is that funny? Go to the pre-order page on the website and hover the mouse over the Rizzy's gear preset. Oh my, actually, I remember what you're talking about. Where is it? Go to pre-order page. Oh, I'm not logging in right now. I'll check it out later. Oh, wait, right here? This? Or is it the other page? Just an old message, okay. They spoke during Gamescom. Oh, also, let me get, Matt, as long as that's you, DM me on Discord. Make sure you if that actually is you, let me know. And I'll mod you. Somebody had something they wanted to discuss. Blind shot, let me know if you're still in chat. Blind shot if you're still in chat. Rizzy's gear preset. What about it? Are you just saying the name? Is it just the name? What are we talking about here, mister? Speaking of events after full release, any confirmation whether events be built into the game? Oh, there's going to be... A lot of the stuff that they're testing right now is so that some events will basically run on their own. There's going to be loads of stuff popping off. There's going to be loads of things that are happening. The barrel is short and has a stock. Oh, you're not wrong. Hey, you're not wrong. Good catch. Good catch. That could just be a visual error. Whoever was doing the artwork for that could just be a little bit of a mistakey poo. Could be a little bit of a mistakey poo right there. We're on 2K. Am I streaming this in 2K? I think I have the settings up, so it's 2K. Yeah, I am. That's a good thing about YouTube. We can get some good gameplay too because of the 2K, so this will be cool. If this actually works out. It seems to be working out right. Seems to be working out all right. Look at the image. It's just so weird. That mask isn't in the game. Neither is that outfit. Well, it's Rizzy's stuff. So they're adding stuff for Rizzy. I just thought the image of the guy is really weird. Yeah, it's just, it's trying to be a bit more interesting with it. You can see my previous message regarding Halloween. I did want to get to... Damn, I wanted to... You guys can see where I am with my scrolling here, I think. Yeah, you can. I wanted to talk to Blind Shot, but I fucked up. I didn't stick with him. Hopefully... Blind Shot, if you're still in chat, let me know. Jump up and just say, hey, I'm still here. I can't get everybody all the time. Sometimes I go on weird tangents. Are you talking about events, Hector? Also, some people might not realize that they're not live. If you guys are watching and you don't see the live, there's a little live bit of UI on the screen, and it's not red and it's not lit up, then you're not actually at the live section. You're actually watching me from some point in the past, so you're not going to be able to keep up with the chat. And if you ask me a question, I'm not going to see it for however long behind you are. You know what I mean? So pay attention to stuff like that if you're trying to take part and you're trying to ask me questions and like be part of a conversation. Oh, previous message on Halloween, though. That was something else. At that point, just ask about it again. Can we expect the Halloween event? Would love all scabs to become zombies. I don't know if they would do something that advanced, especially when they're trying to work on other stuff in the game. Maybe they already had it done. Maybe they have something. Maybe they have a good reason to test something like that so that they would do that. I am very much expecting a Halloween event. Very much expecting them to do something for Halloween. I'm not expecting that something like that significant. We'll see if they end up doing. However, in the past, they have used it as a test bed for things that they just want to see what happens. We saw that at least a couple years ago now. Pestily and everybody else that was live at the moment, when they did it, or they said that something was happening, they said something was coming. So I think he was on Shoreline near the weather station, and he was just up on the rocks, just kind of looking out. And the sun and the moon went by super fast, and then the sun stayed away, the moon came up, it was just moonlight, it was only darkness, and a bunch of fog showed up. It got like really foggy, and then cultists were spawning like 24/7. Cultists were like all over the place. That was a really cool event. We'll see if they end up doing it again. If there was going to be a wipe where they did some crazy stuff, it would be this one for sure. So it'd be It'd be cool. We'll see what happens with it. Like all the outfits for arena presets are from the outfits that you can get at Ragman, but we don't have any equivalent. Yeah, because it's Rizzy, man. Mister, it's Rizzy. He's a character in the lore, and they're doing the Chronicles of Rizzy stuff. They wanted to do something special with him. There's going to be others too. They were talking about there's going to be Nikita might have accidentally spoke about this when he wasn't supposed to with the open Q&A at Gamescom. There's going to be others like that. There's going to be characters in the game that are like that, and you can have a preset like that. So we'll see what else pops up. Is EOD worth or just buy Arena on its own? A lot of people will tell you EOD is worth it, but the thing to keep in mind is everybody is different. Everybody plays the game differently. So it's really only something that you can answer yourself. Unless the question that you're asking is from a point of view of understanding what EOD is. So if you play Escape from Tarkov enough, you'll understand what EOD is. You get the bigger stash base. You don't need to upgrade it in the hideout. So that's stuff that you don't need to find or stuff that you don't need to buy on the flea market. While we're on the subject, this actually isn't a team kill here. Because you can see see how the round just ends. So obviously the last player just died. A lot of people were thinking that this was a team kill. But you can see that he's only got one other teammate left. It's just these two guys left alive. Obviously, he just died. And there's one person left on blue. And you hear the shots. You can hear the shots behind him. And then there's the body behind him in the game, and the round's ending. So obviously that guy just died. So that actually wasn't a team kill. A lot of people thought that was a team. So you'll know that you don't need to go get that stuff for the hideout so that you can increase your stash, because the increased stash base is very good. Very good. Be able to hold extra gear, be able to stockpile stuff that you need for tasks, for later additions, for later upgrades of the hideout, all that stuff. It's extremely good to have the extra space in your hideout, or have the extra space in your stash. You get the extra trader reputation. So if you have an issue getting the tasks done up early, you don't need to worry about it as much in the first week or so, because you get extra starting reputation with the traders. That is actually pretty beneficial. There's a bunch of tasks that you don't need to do in order to get to the next, basically the next level of the traders for level 2, and then be able to unlock different tasks for them and stuff like that. There's a lot. You skip a lot of that. And then also the gear, obviously. Gear definitely depends on you. Just depends on what you do. I sell sell a significant amount of my gear at the beginning of wipes now. I sell a lot of my gear at the beginning of wipes. And then I just kind of run with what I know. But everybody's different. So, like I was saying, if you play Escape from Tarkov, you'll understand. Oh, also, obviously, the Gamma. Can't forget the Gamma. You get the 3 extra slots with your Gamma. So, you'll know what slots do for you with a secure container, and you'll know having more of them is pretty effective, especially where having 3 in a row is pretty effective. There's a lot of those special, unique items that are 1x3s that you just can't put in any other case, unless you get the Epsilon, unless you do the tasks. But you start with a Gamma. You have the extra stash base immediately. You don't need to go upgrade your hideout. And you don't need to worry about tasks as much in order to get to level 2. Potentially level 3. You don't need to worry about it for level 3. It just makes it way easier, because then the tasks that you do to get done help you get to the higher levels. So if you play enough, you'll understand that it is beneficial. It just depends on how much of a hard time you have getting that stuff done anyway. You know what I mean? So it's up to you. I would say, generally speaking, though, EOD is extremely useful. Extremely. That's why a lot of people, when they want to play like the hardcore mode and stuff like that, it's not with an EOD account. That's one of the first things you get rid of. It's the Gamma container that you get rid of and the extra stash space that you get rid of. Been a while since I've had a good morning Tarkov. Been a while since everybody has. Well, if you don't count yesterday and the day before. We're doing a bit of tests. I'm going to be doing this up until I leave for TwitchCon on Wednesday. So we'll be back tomorrow and the day after. So Mac 10, hopefully that answers your question there. Ron Don, the People's Champ. You asked me to say your name, so you know I'm watching live. Guys, it's literally just the button at the bottom there. I'll pull it up so you can see what I'm talking about. It's this right here, guys. So if you're not watching live, see this button down here? If you're not watching live, see how it's gray? That's what it'll be. See how it's gray? And then you click it, and now the button's red. So there we go. You can even hear myself there. So it's pretty up to date. It's pretty quick. Now it's live. That's the setup, guys. And that's for any live stream on YouTube. So pay attention to that bit with the VOD. Yeah, we good. Yeah, hope it helps, Mac. Hope it helps. Especially if you play after bigger prison pocket. Yeah, bigger prison wallet. 2 starting rep and the stash upgrade for free makes it worth it. Yeah, it's definitely a good advantage. It's definitely massive, you know, help for the game. But only you can really define that for yourself, whether it's worth it or not. Because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. When do you think the Omicron container... didn't they say it was going to be this patch? I think they said it was going to be this patch. Also, Matt, I'm assuming you are the Matt. Just let me know in Discord if you are the Matt, and it's not a coincidence that somebody has pretty much the same name as you, but it's not the exact same name. I'm assuming that is you. Just tell me on Discord. Tell me in the DM that we have open. EOD is Casual's best friend. Yeah. Specifically the stash base, while you figure out how you're going to organize that stuff, and then also the gamma. Being able to have the extra room in your gamma is definitely huge. You did? I thought that was from something else. Oh, alright, we're good. Boop. And boop. And boop. Boop. There you go. When do you think the... Alrighty, got that. What's the next map that's going to come out? Town? It's definitely not going to be Town. So Town and Suburbs DLC. Town and Suburbs are not going to be in the game before full release. The next map where it just says new location, I'm all but certain. And this isn't even like a clown guy possibility. It's just that I am all but certain that it is going to be Terminal. Because what they also did, and this was the open Q&A that Nikita did at Gamescom, is he talked about the Russian regulars, and he talked about the walls on Shoreline. He talked about how the Russian regulars are going to be up on that wall. And we did talk about this a little bit yesterday as well, if you want to go catch that conversation. The Russian regulars are those guys that were holding that base down at the end of the Raid series. And that is Shoreline. That is Terminal. And he also said an expansion to a map is coming. So my big time, my money is the new location is Terminal, and the map expansion is going to be Shoreline, so that they can make it work a little bit better, so that the space around Terminal works a bit better or something like that. That's my take on it. I'm all but certain on it. I want Nikita to release early access on Steam because I want to play on Steam Proton Linux. Not sure what's going on with that. I don't know anything about all that stuff, to be honest with you. However, what I do know is they are going to release on Steam after full release. It's going to be up on Steam. Nikita's confirmed that a couple times now. So Escape from Tarkov, as far as I know, last spoken about, Escape from Tarkov is going to be on Steam after full release. Down by the coast where the 2 stashes are? Yep, where the minefield is. It's the big cement walls. It's literally the same location. It's exactly what we see in the Raid series. Exactly. I don't know if I have it up because I think I wanted to go through the Chronicles of Rizzy episodes here, but we'll pull it up again real quick just because talking about it again. And we were talking about like the Black Division and AT4 and stuff. Again, I don't want to keep going over the same topics, especially where my take hasn't changed on it. If my opinion or take had changed on it, then I'd mention it. But you guys can just go back and listen yesterday. You'll get my take on it. Where is it? Come on. Show me the top down that we just saw. This. It is the same. It's the same text up there. It's the same building. The map is there. The 2 guard towers are there. The tank is there. This one's destroyed. The one in our world is destroyed. The wall extends a little bit further, but they had an IRL location that they had to stick to. Maybe that's the map expansion. Maybe they're going to end up expanding it back over here. Because this is the hill goes down pretty steep right here, and then we've got the railroad, which I think maybe we see a little bit of. We do. There's the train car. So there is a railroad right there, and then there's a bridge, and the angle's a little bit off. It kind of sweeps more, and it's closer. But railroad exit's right there. So yeah, my money is on that. The new location is going to be terminal. This is terminal, and there's going to be an expansion to shoreline to facilitate that like better in some way, shape, or form. Do you think if Street 3 iteration doesn't come this winter, terminal can come from that? Well, Streets Part 3 is already delayed. He already said that the Part 3 of Streets is going to be after, I think he said release. Because they're having so many issues getting Streets to a good performing, good stable location for, I guess, enough players. They're not satisfied with the amount of players that are getting good performance on Streets. They want to improve their performance on Streets. So they're going to even start, cutting level of detail on buildings and stuff like that so that they can get it to perform better. And obviously adding more to Streets is going to help with that. So while they're figuring that out, last we heard, and I think this was the open Q&A with Nikita, no more Streets expansions until release at this point. I might be misremembering on the specifics of like it being after release or it being after a certain patch, or maybe he said just this year or the 14 patch or something like that. Either way, they are definitely delayed, and we are getting a new location. That new location might not come with December. It reaches past the December patch, which is weird that they put it the way that they put it on the roadmap. I don't know why they did it that way. I'll ask about it this week when I'm talking to BSG at TwitchCon. But the new location, like I said, I'm all but certain it's going to be terminal. What about private sector? Private sector, I think, is going to be the tutorial zone. It's possible. It's possible that private sector is included in that, for sure. But where Nikita was talking about the Russian regulars, where terminal has been around forever, where it was so important for the raid series, I think it's going to also be important with the lore in the game. And yeah, I think the dots just connect well enough that it's going to end up being terminal as the new location. That's just my take on it. We'll see what ends up happening with private sector. If it even becomes a thing, I think it'll probably be the tutorial or some kind of starting zone. That eventually turns into like your intro into Streets of Tarkov as like the first main location for the game. How are they going to balance progression with Arena? That's a fucking amazing question. We'll have to wait and see, dude. I really hope that everyone's movement speed and recoil control will be the same. As far as I know, it won't be. That's one of the main questions for my new Q&A with Nikita, is how does that balance work? Because it's a lot of back and forth, and I guarantee there's some translation issues. There's some barriers there with the translation, because we've asked several different times, and we've gotten several different answers about it. I would assume that there is some kind of limit to make it competitive. They want to make this competitive. So at the same time, there is an ability to take your base game character into Arena. You are going to be able to take your base game character into Arena. So if that is an absolutely maxed character, what happens with that when you're playing against characters that aren't maxed? And we got a lot of different answers between the skill-based matchmaking, the limiter. They weren't very clear on it, and it sounds like maybe they were even going back and forth in terms of how to handle that. But that is the Arena question that I left in my Q&A. So we'll talk about it this week. We'll talk about it this week with either BSG or Nikita himself, or both at the same time. A lot of that stuff going to be happening this week. Is layer for Linux operation system provided by Valve? Yeah, so Valve. I just don't follow that stuff. Assuming it's good. If you guys want to use it and stuff like that, hopefully it's good. But I don't follow any of that stuff. I don't know what any of that stuff is. Is Part 3 the final addition to Streets, or is there going to be 4? There's going to be several, actually. Depends on how they actually structure it, based off of what they're doing now, where they're delaying it. So, right now, they could be seen by them as like, there's a Part 3, there's a Part 4, 5, 6, and 7. You know what I mean? So it's like they add this amount of the streets with up specifically to this building or to this street at this area. That's going to be part 3. And then this area over here with this building, this amount of streets in this area is going to be part 4. And they can have it sectioned off like that in terms of how they're going to develop it and what they're move forward with development. But where they're delaying it, depending on how far they're delaying it or what they're doing with it, they could just combine 3 and 4. And now the bigger part that was supposed to be now 3 and 4 is now just the next part. You know what I mean? So defining it as how many parts are left can be tricky because it could be a lot of space now. And they could combine what they were technically seeing as part 3 and 4 and maybe even 5. You know what I mean? So we'll just have to wait and see. But it's enough to warrant them to want to stop because they want to get streets performing well. It definitely is a unique and very interesting and very cool big city map as is. It doesn't necessarily really fulfill what it's supposed to be like in its lore and stuff like that. There's supposed to be that BTR taxi. There's supposed to be a couple different NPC factions. It's supposed to be huge. Right now it's big. Lots to do. Definitely the biggest map. Definitely the most interesting map. My favorite map for sure. And a lot of people's favorite as long as you can play it. But there's definitely supposed to be more. There's supposed to be more to it. So more will be coming with it. Just depends on when and how much more. How would you feel about traders changing global limit price and personal buy limits based on how quickly items sell out? PSG are constantly struggling with stuff like that. They want there to be a balance. They want there to be a scarcity. They want there to be that kind of economy. And I don't think it's necessarily their priority right now to really focus on the economics of it right now because there's going to be a massive change with the armor hitboxes and the balancing that's coming with patch 14. So, yeah, they really shouldn't touch anything right now. They shouldn't because they shouldn't put the time into it. They shouldn't prioritize that stuff right now because of the change coming in. It's just going to get negated. Everything that they end up changing right now, it's going to get significantly affected by the changes that they're doing in December. So all of the little math or meetings or any of the time that they put towards balancing that stuff right now is time wasted because of the changes coming in December. That's my take on it. But I kind of hope that they aren't doing that right now. I hope that they wait until after those changes come in for them to do that. But I'm open for anything that's going to be, an interesting economy, obviously. We have to do it at the right time and spend the time usefully. Do you think dog tags will play any role within Arena? Maybe they will be used for something. It's possible. But there's very, very, very little looting. I feel like if they wanted you to loot other players, there would be a bit of a better system behind that or some kind of time frame for that. You know what I mean? I don't think looting is going to be very significant at all in Arena. And obviously, dog tags are tied into that. So maybe, but maybe not. And actually, I'm leaning more towards I don't think so, but maybe. I think the base game character into Arena is broken. Nikita has some great ideas, but most players can't know life. 8 hours a week. If I can put in 8 hours a week, if all I can put in. Please love your videos. I don't know if there's like a question there, Hector. Help me out if there's like a specific question there for me. Also, guys, we do keep these to an hour. And we're coming up on that. I'll reset the playlist here a little bit. We are coming up on an hour. I got about another 10 minutes or so here. So here's the thing. It's not, definition-wise, broken is the wrong word because Arena is part of the lore. You are supposed to take part in Arena with your base game character as part of the lore. There's going to be lore quests and lore ties into Arena directly. It's going to be a big part of the game. So your base game character needs to be able to get into Arena. The fairness of it, sure. And they are thinking of that. There is going to be some kind of limit. There is some kind of matchmaker. They're thinking about that. They're thinking ahead of that. And the fairness of it isn't something that they're necessarily worried about, to be honest. They just need your player to be able to take part in an Arena in some way, shape, or form. We'll see how it ends up working out. And obviously there's going to be some balancing and there's going to be some tuning involved with it. We'll see how it works out. Just tell the keywords Steam, Proton, and Early Access to Nikita, I believe. Oh, you want me to ask about it? Yeah, I can ask about it. Well, I feel like the second I say Steam, in his head, it's just going to click like it's not a priority right now. Like, we're not worried about it right now. And then on top of that, he's already said that after full release, it's going to be on Steam. So there's only so much room in your brain right now, or definitely in Nikita's brain right now. There's only so many different priorities and so many different things that they can work on and that they can put as a priority right now. And that's definitely not one of them. I would think. Maybe. It's enough of a maybe for me to ask about it. But I feel like if I'm going to ask about that, they're going to say something along the lines of like, we're not worried about that right now. We'll figure out Steam when we're closer to release, stuff like that. You know what I mean? You think they'll add arena-specific skins, cosmetics, to have you earn in arena? Cosmetics are in a weird spot right now. Because as far as we know, we're still getting the spray paints. So if you find a spray paint can, you can spray paint your gun and potentially even your gear. It's not going to be anything crazy, but that's going to be a thing. And BSG have always been on the path of zero microtransactions. They've been saying that since day one. They've been saying there will not be any microtransactions in Escape from Tarkov. But there's been a lot of discussions that are popping up that it may or may not help the community to have microtransactions that are only cosmetic and stuff like that. So there's a discussion to be had. There's a lot of people that kind of want that. They want to be able to just buy some skins, buy some paints, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So it's a weird topic right now, for sure. There's also the conversation that if BSG provided direct money for items in-game at some capacity, it would limit the effectiveness of RMT and cheaters and stuff like that, and it would like, and somehow, in some way, like, decrease that. I don't know. As a World of Warcraft player, I've had mixed feelings about WoW Token. For those that don't know, World of Warcraft, obviously massive MMO. I'm assuming you know the game. If you don't know the game, gist of it is there's a currency in the game, gold. Very common RPG, you know, gold. You can earn money in the game. You use it to spend on stuff at the auction house, use it on gear, use it on food, all that stuff. And there would be bots, and that there would be services that would RMT for it, that would sell you gold. And in order to negate that, and in order to drum up extra cash for themselves and a bunch of different reasons, they definitely are going the microtransaction route. They're selling skins, they're selling mounts that a lot of times look better than what you can get in the game, or at least most of the stuff that you can get in game. So they're definitely doing the microtransaction thing still. They're definitely on that path. But they attempted to do it, or they did it to try and negate people that are selling gold and people that are like farming gold and RMTing it and stuff like that. All they did was make it cheaper. The RMT just made it cheaper, and people still do it. And I don't know the specific effects on the cheating and the bots. There's still bots that are running around. There's still the multi-boxing that are still running around, still making gold and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't think it had too much of an effect. I don't think that it'll be in a good place because of how the economy works in Escape from Tarkov. The second they sell anything of any substance for world money, I think you have a significant issue. Not only just from an economy standpoint, but from the OG days where you're saying we're not going to have microtransactions. That in and of itself is that's a broken promise. They said they're not going to have any microtransactions, and immediately obviously that's not the case there with that. But there's a lot of conversations that are being had about that within the community, so we'll see what ends up happening with it. Personally, I'm on the fence with cosmetics. So how far are we going to go with cosmetics? Can they still be earned in game? You know, what's going on with that? But I could be convinced to do microtransactions for skins and stuff like that. I'm okay with that. Just cosmetics, whatever. Helps them get some more money, put toward development, all that stuff. Russia 2020, still to come, all that stuff. I agree with BSG is marketing it as a separate game. It's conflicting, it's lore, yet it's a standalone experience. It's like they aren't sure of their own direction. Would you agree? I actually don't need to agree because it's a fact. It's a fact that they're a little bit unsure of their own direction because Arena was supposed to be part of the base game. And this is something that this is something that I've had a couple conversations with a couple of different creators that are outside of Escape from Tarkov, because there was some discussions and there were some topics that were popping up that here's BSG developing a new game, and this isn't just Russia 2028. People think that they're already developing Russia 2028 when they technically are, because they're going to use a lot of features from Escape from Tarkov. They're going to reuse them in Russia 2028. That was like the whole game plan with this, is they were going to develop Escape from Tarkov, get funding for Russia 2028, and then also build a lot of the foundation for Russia 2028 with the features that they're doing in Escape from Tarkov. But if you guys look up Escape from Tarkov Arena map, you might find it somewhere there on Google. Arena was supposed to be part of the game. Arena was supposed to be a location that you can go. It's always been a part of the lore. It's always been a part of the game. It was always going to happen. But with the amount of money that BSG have made with Escape from Tarkov, and with the direction that it's been going, with the more competitive, the W keyers, the Chads, part of the community that's built up over time, they wanted to do something different. They wanted to have a place for the W keyers, for the Chads. So what they did with the money that they were making, they could hire a whole other team. They decided, we'll go super competitive with this. We'll make it its own thing. We'll give it the higher tick rate servers, and it's going to need its kind of own thing. So it's no longer going to be just a location that you see up next to factory when you go to choose your map, and then it's its own thing. It's going to be its own game with its higher tick rate servers and, you know, all that stuff that's going on with that. So Arena was always part of the plan, but because Tarkov was so successful, they've been put in a position to make it better and to make more from it. So that's why it's a separate thing. But it was always going to be a thing. We're wrapping up here too, guys. I keep these to an hour, so we only got a few more minutes left. I agree, but BSG is marketing it. Okay, no, we already got that. As World of Warcraft player, what do you think of StarCraft? I haven't put much time into StarCraft, man. I'm a massive, massive RTS nerd. I'm going to be playing the ever-living shit out of Broken Arrow whenever they are releasing that. I'm already talking to the devs. I'm talking to Devil Dog Gamer, Funker530. I forget if Drewski said that he's interested. I think on the outset, Drewski's a little interested. My friend Bolt Sauce, who does RTS. Any of you guys that do RTS, if you like the game Warno, or if you like RTS in general, go follow my friend Bolt Sauce, or just Saucy on YouTube. That was my OG days. I started off with RTS stuff, and then I got into Arma, and then COVID popped up, and I happened to playing this game, Escape from Tarkov, and then the rest is history. Or I started doing videos on Escape from Tarkov, and then the rest is but I'm going to be playing with him. I'm playing with a lot of people on the Discord. Lots of RTS stuff coming. However, it's not on this channel. This is Escape from Tarkov, and sometimes a couple tangents here. A couple tangents here and there to help pay the bills with the payday stuff and the Hunt Showdown stuff. Honestly, I thought Hunt Showdown was going to do a lot better. I'm surprised that more people aren't interested in Hunt Showdown, because I genuinely like that, and I think it's a good extraction shooter. But in the future-wise, I'm talking about Marathon, talking about We the People, talking about Beautiful Light, which I kept calling Beyond Light because I have Destiny on my brain the other day. So yeah, I forget where I went with that. Oh right, StarCraft, because you know I'm in our RTS stuff, but I never really got into StarCraft. Last I'd want is for it to be put in games. Oh, that's a different conversation. Thoughts on Dark and Darker? My take on Dark and Darker is it's just not for me. Everything that, and for some reason there's like, how many other games play like exactly like Dark and Darker now? Is there 4? Are there 4 games that are basically Dark and Darker now? I don't know what the fuck's going on with that, but I saw a Clean playing the other day. He was playing one game that was, it was Dark and Darker. There was some little changes, but like it was like the exact same game. And then like 2 people up, there was somebody else that I follow that's in the Tarkov community, but I'm blanking on who it was playing another game, a different game, but it was the same thing. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with Dark and Darker, but the basic gameplay of it, like the gist of it is, if I am standing somewhere and I see an enemy, I want to have an option to do something to that enemy. So I like the setup for it. I kind of like, I just want it to be a first-person shooter. I don't like it sort of feels like kind of weird to me, like the movement of it. And if you guys could see my body right now, you could tell Like, it's just kind of like the weird kind of like side to side, and they're right in front of you, but you can't really do anything to them kind of combat. However, if you are a fan of Dark and Darker, you know this combat. I do like Mountain Blade. I play the shit out of Mountain Blade. But I play it more for like the RTS stuff, like build your empire and build your military and stuff like that. But I'll do the first person combat. I get the first person combat. I even kind of like the first person combat. But to have that be the basis of the game, I don't like it, so I don't play it. It's just not my thing. It's not my cup of tea. I'm glad that people have found a game that they like that is similar to Escape from Tarkov, and that they can get that feeling. I kind of wish that I did like Dark and Darker, because you'll still get that feeling of, you know, losing your gear and stuff that we all play for, and the drive to want to keep playing and get better gear and stuff like that. I wish I did, but I don't. So just don't really like it. Last couple questions here, guys. Do you know how high BSG is prioritizing optimization? I feel like they should invest a few months to clean up before expanding further. Blue, it's something that they're constantly working on, but it's a very, very complex situation. So the thing is, there's always a bit of optimization that's going on. There's always a bit of stuff that they can do to improve or to fix or to even help with development as they go along. However, bugs can happen, issues can pop up when you're making sweeping changes. And there's at least 2 more major patches that might even be white patches that are significant sweeping changes. More specifically with this December patch, as long as it's still part of the plan, as far as I know, it still is. And this is one of the things that I'm going to be asking about, because it's been a couple months since we've heard from them. Patch 14, this December wipe, is going to be Unity 21 and the netcode changes. Those are significant. Going to have a lot to do with networking, going to have a lot to do with desync, going to have a lot to do with the balance and the way the game runs in general, and the way that the servers run in general. So anything that they affect or anything that they're working on would either be... sorry, not anything. Potential for a lot of the things that they would be working on to optimize the game in its current state might not carry over into what they're doing or what the system or how the systems are going to work in December after they do the netcode changes or after they do Unity 21. Sure, there's probably a lot of things that they could do, but maybe the effect of it, maybe the effect of of the things that will stay might not end up being that much, or might not being that significant. So they would rather put people towards something else at this time. It's a very complex situation. There's a lot of things that go, and without being able to see exactly what's going on, there's no direct answer to it. But they are working on it. I mean, hell, just the patch they did the other day when they made it so that you can't sit in trees anymore. There were some fixes, and there was some stuff that were coming up. So there's just some optimization that's going on. Sounds like a plan, at least. Thanks. Yeah, this is early access. Very much a game that's still in development. I'll end it with this too here, guys. And you guys that haven't heard me go on this rant before, I won't turn it into a rant, but I absolutely despise that they call it a beta. It is not a beta. A beta means pencils down. It means it's feature complete. It means they're in the final stages of testing. There is significant features and additions to the game that are not in the game yet. It's not in a beta. There's so many more things that they need to do. So you can call it an alpha if you want. It's really just early access while it's still in development. I genuinely hate that they call it a beta. I hate that the internet now has this word beta stapled into their brain, and whether you're using it in a positive way or a negative way, there's just so much misunderstanding about like what it actually is and how you're supposed to, you know, use that and stuff like that. It's just rough. Anyway, that's gonna be it for today. We keep these to an hour so that it's kind of easier to digest and easier to keep along with or stay along with. But we will be back tomorrow. We're going to do this Monday, and we're going to do this Tuesday. I am leaving on Wednesday, so we're not doing this on Wednesday. But any other questions, drop by tomorrow. Same time, same place. If you need something answered now, we've got the Discord. We've got the Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Discord, or make sure you follow me on Twitter. Make sure you join the Discord. If you guys are interested, quick plug of the Star Citizen channel. We're going to be doing Star Citizen stuff as an org later today. If you don't know what Star Citizen is, Nice Guy Star Citizen. Check that channel out. I do exactly the same stuff that I do with Tarkov, but over there, it's going to be Star Citizen. And we got an org going. There's some cool stuff going. We got an event going later today, which I need to find. I need to source some food. and get going with that on later today, which you can find on the Discords if you select the Star Citizen role in Discord. Otherwise, again, back tomorrow. TwitchCon later this week. Here we go. We got a big week ahead of us, boys. Got a big week with TwitchCon. It's gonna be cool. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. See you guys same place, same time tomorrow. Otherwise, I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.